Don't cue. Life is hard. Success is not promised. And the road to greatness is paved with obstacles, setbacks, and pain. But hear me when I say this. Don't cue. There will be days when you feel like you've given everything, when you've poured your heart, your soul, your sweat into something, and still the world tells you it's not enough. That's when you must dig deeper. That's when you must push harder. Because the truth is, the breakthrough always comes after the struggle. Some of you are facing rejection. Some of you feel like you're standing at the edge of failure. Good, because that means you're in the fight. That means you're in the arena. And if you're in the arena, you have a shot. But if you quit, if you walk away, you guarantee failure. You weren't put on this earth just to survive. You weren't put here to blend in. You were put here to leave a mark, to build something, to create something, to inspire someone. But that only happens if you refuse to quit. So when you're tired, when you're broken, when the world says, maybe this isn't for you, you look that doubt in the eye and say, watch me. Because the people who win, the people who make history, the people we remember, they weren't necessarily the smartest or the strongest. They were the ones who refused to stop. No matter how tough it gets, don't quit. Your story is still being written. Embrace failure. Failure. The word alone makes most people uneasy. It's painted as something to be ashamed of, something to avoid at all costs. But the truth is, failure is necessary. It is a teacher, not a tombstone. It is the soil in which success grows. Every great achiever, every history maker, every champion has failed. Not once, not twice, but countless times. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent, luck, or intelligence. It's the ability to embrace failure, learn from it, and keep going. If you fear failure, you will never take the risks necessary to grow. You will never push beyond what is comfortable, and comfort is the enemy of progress. Every setback, every rejection, every no you hear is simply a test to see how badly you want it. The moment you change your perspective on failure is the moment you unlock your true potential. Think about the legends. Michael Jordan cut from his high school basketball team, Oprah Winfrey fired from her first job, Thomas Edison failing over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Imagine if they had stopped. Imagine if they had let failure define them. The world would be a dimmer place. But they understood something most people don't. Failure is feedback. It's data. It's telling you what doesn't work so you can get closer to what does. It sharpens you, humbles you, and forces you to improve. Without failure, success would be empty. It would be unearned. Every failure is an opportunity to build resilience, develop character, and refine your craft. The pain of failure is temporary, but the lessons you take from it last a lifetime. When you fail, and you will, because that's part of the journey, don't let it break you, let it build you. Stop looking at failure as a dead end and start seeing it as a stepping stone. When a door closes, find another one. If you fall, get up stronger. Every time you rise after failure, you send a message to yourself, to the world, to the doubters, that you are unbreakable, that you will not be defined by your lowest moments, but by how you respond to them. Success is not about avoiding failure. It's about refusing to let failure stop you. The greatest stories ever told are not about those who had it easy, but about those who fought through adversity and refused to give up. So, the next time you fail, smile, because it means you're in the game. It means you're trying. It means you're learning. Most people never fail because they never try. Don't be one of them. Failure is not your enemy, fear is. Fear of looking foolish, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. But fear has no power over those who embrace failure as fuel. Keep failing, keep learning, and keep moving forward, because the only real failure is quitting. Stay hungry. Success is not a destination, it's a continuous journey. The moment you think you've made it, the moment you get comfortable, is the moment you start losing. Hunger is what separates the great from the average. Hunger is what keeps champions pushing even after they've won the title. It's the fire that burns inside you, that voice that whispers, there's more to do, more to achieve, more to give. Without hunger, talent is wasted. Without hunger, potential remains just that. Potential. It's not about how much you have, it's about how much you're willing to go after. The ones who stay hungry, the ones who never stop pushing, are the ones who change the game. The world is filled with people who had talent but lost their hunger. They got complacent. They got comfortable. They stopped striving. Don't let that be you. Stay hungry. Stay curious. Stay in pursuit of something greater. Even when you win, act like you're still chasing. Even when you succeed, set new goals, chase new dreams, demand more of yourself. Because the moment you stop reaching is the moment you start falling. Hunger isn't just about ambition. It's about purpose. It's about waking up every day knowing you have more to give, more to learn, more to become. Never lose that hunger. Keep chasing, keep striving, and never settle. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like the wind. One day you feel inspired, fired up, ready to conquer the world. The next day you don't even want to get out of bed. That's the problem with relying on motivation. It's not consistent. But discipline is what separates the ones who dream from the ones who achieve. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It's showing up when you're tired, putting in the work when nobody is watching, and pushing through even when every part of you wants to quit. It's waking up early, staying late, grinding when it's not fun, and committing when there's no applause. The greatest in any field didn't get there because they felt motivated every day. They got there because they had the discipline to work even when they didn't feel like it. That's the difference. That's the key. Think about it. Anyone can work hard when they're excited. Anyone can go to the gym on January 1st when motivation is high. But what about February 10th when it's raining and you're tired? What about after your first failure, your first rejection, your first disappointment? That's when discipline kicks in. That's when you prove what you're really made of. Winners don't wait to feel ready. They show up regardless. They don't depend on inspiration. They depend on routine, structure, and a commitment to the process. So stop waiting to feel motivated. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Because motivation will fail you, but discipline will carry you through. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Build that bridge step by step, day by day, and watch how far you go. Stay committed, stay disciplined. Success will follow. Faith and hard work, belief and effort. These are the two forces that drive success. One without the other is incomplete. You can have all the faith in the world, but if you're not willing to put in the work, you're just wishing. On the other hand, you can work yourself to exhaustion, but if you don't believe in what you're working toward, you'll eventually burn out. The real power comes when faith and hard work go hand in hand. Faith is about seeing beyond your current reality. It's about believing in yourself even when no one else does. It's about knowing deep in your soul that you were made for more. When obstacles rise, when setbacks come, when doubt creeps in, faith is what keeps you moving forward. It tells you, this is not the end. Keep going. The most successful people in the world weren't handed anything. They had to see the vision before it became reality. They had to trust the process when the results weren't there yet. That's faith. That's the mindset of a champion. But faith alone is not enough. You have to work. You have to grind. You have to put in the hours, make the sacrifices, do what most people won't so you can have what most people never will. Hard work means showing up early, staying late, studying more, practicing harder, training longer. It means refusing to cut corners, refusing to make excuses, and refusing to quit. It means taking responsibility for your future, understanding that nothing is given, everything is earned. So hold on to your faith, let it guide you, let it fuel you, but don't just sit around waiting for success to knock on your door. Get up and go after it. Believe in yourself, trust the journey, and put in the work every single day. Because faith gives you direction, but hard work gets you there. Don't fear rejection. Rejection is not the end. It is not a sign that you should give up. Rejection is redirection. It is life's way of telling you, not this way. Keep moving, keep searching, keep growing. Too many people let rejection define them. They take one no, one failure, one closed door, and they convince themselves that they aren't good enough. But listen, every no brings you one step closer to a yes. Every rejection is proof that you are in the game, that you are trying, that you are fighting for something greater. Think about it. Who hasn't been rejected? The most successful people in the world didn't escape rejection. They embraced it. Actors, athletes, entrepreneurs, inventors, they all heard no more times than they could count. But they didn't stop. They didn't let someone else's doubt become their truth. They used rejection as fuel. They sharpened their skills. They worked harder. They found another way. Because here's the truth. Rejection is not personal. It doesn't define your worth. It's simply a part of the process. If you never get rejected, you're not aiming high enough. So don't fear rejection. Expect it, embrace it, learn from it. Let every no make you stronger. Let it push you to improve, to grow, to prove to yourself that you have what it takes. Because the only real failure is giving up. And as long as you keep going, as long as you refuse to quit, your moment will come. Legacy over comfort. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. It's easy to settle, easy to relax, easy to stay where things feel safe. But nobody remembers the ones who played it safe. The ones who change the world, the ones who leave a mark, are the ones who push beyond their limits, who sacrifice ease for purpose, who choose legacy over comfort. What do you want to be remembered for? A life spent avoiding risks, dodging difficulties, and staying in your comfort zone? Or a life of impact, of purpose, of pushing through fear and adversity to achieve something greater? Your legacy is built in the moments when you choose discipline over laziness, courage over fear, growth over stagnation. It's built in the times you decide to keep going when quitting would be easier. Every choice you make either moves you closer to your legacy or keeps you stuck in comfort. Success is temporary, but legacy is forever. Nobody remembers how comfortable you were. They remember what you built, changed, inspired, and overcame. So stop chasing what's easy. Stop settling for what's comfortable. Push yourself. Sacrifice now. Work now. Because when it's all said and done, your legacy will not be what you had. It will be what you gave, what you built, and who you became. Life is a fight. Success is a war. And the only ones who win are the ones who refuse to give up. The ones who push past failure, who rise after every fall, who stand back up even when life knocks them down. Don't quit. Too many people give up right before the breakthrough, right before the miracle, right before the moment when everything was about to change. But you're not going to be one of them. You're not going to let fear, doubt, or setbacks break you. You are going to stand tall, push through, and keep moving forward, because that's what winners do. You have to decide right now, right here, what kind of person you're going to be. Are you going to be the kind who lets obstacles stop you? Or are you going to be the kind who finds a way through no matter what? The truth is, quitting is easy. Walking away when things get hard, that's easy. But easy never made history. Easy never built empires. Easy never left a legacy. You've got to stop running from struggle. Stop avoiding the pain. Stop looking for the shortcut, the easy way out. Because the struggle is what makes you strong. The pain is what builds character. Every great person you admire, every legend you respect, every leader who changed the world, they all went through hell before they reached their heaven. Michael Jordan didn't make his high school basketball team. They told him he wasn't good enough. Imagine if he had quit. Imagine if he had listened. The greatest player of all time wouldn't even exist. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first job as a news anchor. They told her she didn't have what it takes to be on television. Now she's one of the most influential women in the world. Tinting's first book was rejected 30 times. 30 people told him it wasn't good enough, but he didn't quit. Now he's sold over 350 million books. What's the lesson? Rejection is not the end, it's part of the process. The ones who succeed are the ones who refuse to quit no matter how many times they fail. Failure is your teacher, not your enemy. Some of you are afraid to fail. Some of you are afraid of looking stupid, afraid of being laughed at, afraid of losing. Get over it. Failure is not your enemy. Fear is, doubt is, hesitation is. But failure? Failure is your greatest teacher. It shows you what doesn't work so you can get closer to what does. It humbles you. It makes you better. So stop looking at failure as the end of the road. It's not a dead end, it's a detour. It's just another lesson. Take the lesson and keep moving forward. You're not always going to feel like working hard. You're not always going to be inspired. That's why motivation is overrated. It comes and goes like the wind. You know what's better than motivation? Discipline. Discipline is waking up early when you don't feel like it. Discipline is putting in the work when nobody is watching. Discipline is saying, I made a commitment and I'm sticking to it no matter what. Champions don't rely on motivation. They rely on habits, consistency, and discipline. So the next time you feel tired, unmotivated, or discouraged, show up anyway. Put in the work anyway. Push through anyway. Because that's what separates winners from everyone else. Ignore the doubters. They don't know your destiny. People will doubt you. People will criticize you. People will tell you you can't. The only reason people tell you it's impossible is because they never had the courage to do it themselves. Their fear is not your problem. Their doubt is not your burden. Your job is to prove them wrong. Some of you are holding back because you're afraid of what people will think. You're afraid of being judged, afraid of failing in front of others. Let me tell you something. Nobody who ever did anything great cared about what people thought. If you're worried about fitting in, about pleasing everybody, about making people comfortable, you'll never do anything remarkable. Greatness requires being uncomfortable. It requires taking risks, standing alone, being misunderstood. So stop looking for approval. Stop waiting for permission. Go after what's yours. Pain is temporary, but quitting is forever. You're going to feel pain. You're going to be tired. You're going to feel like giving up. Push through it. Pain is temporary. That struggle you're facing, that exhaustion you feel, that doubt in your mind, it won't last forever. But quitting is permanent. When you quit, you don't just lose the fight. You lose the chance to see how great you could have been. You lose the opportunity to see your breakthrough. So when it gets hard, and it will, keep pushing. When you feel like stopping, keep moving. When every part of you says, I can't do this anymore, prove yourself wrong, because you can. Your legacy is being written right now. One day, people will talk about you. They'll tell your story. They'll remember what you did. What will they say? Will they say, they had so much potential, but they gave up? Or will they say, they fought through everything, they never quit, they left a legacy? That choice is yours. So when you feel like giving up, think about the people who are counting on you. Think about the younger version of yourself who dreamed about being where you are now. Think about your future self looking back, hoping you made the right choice. Don't quit. Keep fighting, keep grinding, keep pushing, because your story is still being written. And the best chapters are yet to come. This is your time. This is your moment. Don't stop now. Don't slow down. And whatever you do, don't quit. Don't quit. Keep fighting for your future. Life is not easy. Success is not guaranteed. The road to greatness is not a straight line. It is filled with obstacles, setbacks, failures, and moments that will make you want to give up. But the difference between those who make it and those who don't is simple. One keeps going, and the other quits. If you want to live a life that matters, if you want to achieve your dreams, if you want to leave behind a legacy, you cannot quit, no matter how hard it gets. No matter how many times you fail, no matter who doubts you, you must keep moving forward. Why are you doing this? Before you even think about quitting, ask yourself one thing. Why did you start? What made you take that first step? What made you believe in this dream? What made you work so hard in the first place? Because when things get hard, and they will, so take a second, think about why you started. Think about where you want to be. And then tell yourself, I will not stop until I get there. The power of perseverance. Every person who has achieved something great had 1,000 reasons to quit. Steve Jobs was fired from the very company he built. He could have walked away. Instead, he came back stronger and changed the world. J.K. Rowling was rejected 12 times before anyone agreed to publish Harry Potter. She could have quit. Instead, she became one of the most successful authors in history. The Wright brothers were laughed at when they said they would make humans fly. Nobody believed them. but they didn't quit. And today we travel the world by airplane. These people didn't have it easy. They didn't wake up successful. They fought for it. They suffered. They doubted themselves. But the one thing they never did, they never quit. And that's why the world remembers them. Some of you want success, but you don't want the struggle that comes with it. You want the reward, but you don't want the work. It doesn't work that way. You want a strong body, you have to push through the pain in the gym. You want to be wealthy, you have to put in the hours, sacrifice and grind. You want to be the best, you have to be willing to go through the worst. Pain is not your enemy, it is your passage to growth. Every time you struggle, every time you feel like quitting, every time you're pushed to your limit, that's where real growth happens. That's when you level up. That's when you become the person you were meant to be. You are either building your future or destroying it with every decision you make. When you give up on your dreams, you don't just disappoint yourself. You disappoint the future version of you that could have made it. The version of you that could have been successful, powerful, strong, and inspiring. Every time you push through the pain, every time you refuse to give up, every time you tell yourself, I will not quit, you are shaping that version of yourself. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? Do you want to be the person who gave up when it got hard? Or the person who fought through everything and won? You have sacrificed too much to stop now. You have come too far to turn back. Think about all the nights you stayed up late working. Think about all the early mornings you didn't feel like getting up, but did anyway. Think about all the people who doubted you, all the ones who said you couldn't do it. If you quit now, they win. If you quit now, your struggles were for nothing. If you quit now, you will never know how great you could have been. You owe it to yourself to keep going. You owe it to your family, to your dreams, to the version of you that refuses to accept defeat.